start recording, and I will start sharing my slides for you. Give me a second here. Jane, can you follow up with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
By the way, I'm on my tablet right now. So now I'm gonna join in with another account on my laptop because it just finished.
Okay, sure. Yeah, there is no worries.
Okay, thanks.
It's okay. Okay, so should I start?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. So this is a typical introduction that every student actually should know. So so teachers who already study about neuroscience and how the brain works, it's better to summarize the students about some tips that will help them study not only computer science but every other subject. So let me share with you that tips, and then we move to our computer science aim at the end. Okay, so I will explain to you a few things about brain chunks and how actually to build them, and the difference or the relation between creativity and emotional stability, and how your emotional stability actually contribute to your creativity. Okay, and we will discuss also a few things about the mode that your brain works in and how you can switch from one mode to another. Okay, and of course the working memory and permanent, that will be explained immediately now in the next slide. So have a look here. So did you hear ever the term before that is called memory chunking?
Uh, I think so. Like not for brain, but it's like batch processing a bit, right?
A
It's like
kind of batch
you break
processing,
you
yes.
break down big things into smaller things so you can fit them and like remember them easier. And
Excellent,
then you just
excellent.
rearrange them.
Yes. So you apply this to everything, then that will is easier for the brain to actually grasp or understand. And we always have a saying that we don't eat the elephant one shot. We eat it in small pieces. So it's too big to eat the elephant one shot. Now, let me. So do you know what is a single memory chunk?
No, actually.
Okay. So a single memory chunk can be a mathematical formula. It can be a frequently used sentence that you use in a foreign language, or it can be a process that you use to solve a specific problem. So this is a single memory chunk. So by building a lot of memory chunks and connecting them together, that adds to your ability in general, not only in computer science, but in other subjects. You will be surprised to know that the brain, so when you study other subjects other than computer science, uh, this somehow indirectly contribute to your ability in solving the math and even computer science programming exercises. So don't think that because you are just studying other subjects, this does not help your brain to grow. It actually does. So your brain is affected by all the information that you pass to it. But definitely, if you're telling me that you are watching TikTok videos, that definitely will not affect your brain positively at all. That will actually harm your brain and your studying process, because that will occupy more space from your more effort and more space from your brain that is useless. Actually, it doesn't help you. Okay, unless you are studying or watching educational material. That's a different situation. So, did you understand me so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to build memory chunks, you don't just read information that you want to study. You actually engage with the information, which means that you try to understand the concept behind the information that you are studying. You just don't memorize it. You try to understand it. You focus on relationships between different information that you are studying. That will actually help a lot, especially relationships. So that the brain, our brain works in that it can really memorize and remember when you find relationship between different topics that you are studying, even from different subjects. So certain things in the math that you study actually can somehow a little bit relate to computer science. So linking different information or topics together, that helps solidify things. So if we are learning a new information, we always try to find a relationship between this new information that we are studying and some things that we already know for sure, or we already fix it in our brain, or we already studied long time ago. So that help the brain to actually start remembering and understanding the new topic. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So another thing that help us in building the memory chunks, which is we need to practice retrieval. So so this is a way to tell your brain, this is an important information that I always want you to remember. So you're telling it, you tell it there indirectly to your brain by practicing retrieval. So practicing retrieval means you close the book, you try to remember or to actually write down everything that you thought that you already studied. So you do this not only for computer science, but for all other subjects. So that is the way that actually helps your brain a lot. So another thing here, we call space repetition. So so the best way for the brain to work with any subject is not that you dedicate 3 or 4 hours a week for a single subject, but it is to dedicate 3 times a week for each subject, 3 or 4 times a week for each subject. So don't say that, oh, I want to study computer science today for 4 or 5 hours. That's not good. So I want you to focus on computer science every 1 or 2 days, just 1 or 2 hours at maximum, or 1.5 hours at maximum, every 2 days or 3 days. That works best. So by doing so, again, you are building the memory chunks and you are fixing the information in your long-term memory. So that way, if you do it this way, your brain will not start to forget, because specifically Python and pseudocode, this is things that you will start to forget easily. So we don't want that. Did I make it clear to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you please tell me, what did you understand so far from me?
So memory chunks are what we call the like pieces of information that our brains can recall from a long time ago, or it can stay in our brain for a long time. So in the future, if we need it, we can remember it easier. And memory chunks are built by like a constant repetition. So your brain thinks that this information is important, so it creates a memory chunk out of it. And then 2, it's the connections between this piece of information and any other pieces of information you already have stored long term. So if you remember the other long term pieces, then you're more likely to remember this new memory chunk, because you have found like a relationship between them. And then the space repetition is if you cram everything into a long study session, your brain is essentially unable to properly process and store everything. So if you space it out and take bit by bit, then your brain can more effectively like, how do you say, store all this memory, and then that will let it build better memory chunks.
Yeah, I salute you. You are excellent. You digested the information and you rephrase it in your own words, which is actually great. This is a great indication. I like that from you. Yeah, okay.
Thank
So
you.
the last thing that I would like to tell you here is interleaf learning. So again, this is similar to studying a little bit at a time, which is also a little bit similar to spaced repetition, but in a different way. So, okay, you have different topics in computer science. So there is a theoretical part and there is a practical part. And the practical part is divided into two things, Python and pseudocode. So by not focusing on certain topic and starting to mix again within even the same subject. So you say, okay, I studying today computer science, divide 45 minutes for Python, 45 minutes for theoretical part. So mixing the topics also is great for your brain. So again, don't let your brain saturated from only a single topic. Also, like I told you, when you do spaced repetition, when you divide the long session into different days, so that is also help, like I told you, and also that also serve a purpose when you are studying different subjects. Brain again find relationship between them, even though they are not 100% related, but in your brain he find a way to relate them together. Okay, I will show you how the brain connections are actually uh, built and how it looks like inside your brain. So tell me first, what is this?
It's a book.
Okay, what do you use it for?
You use it as like a guide to find what you want faster
Okay,
and without
perfect.
having to take time to search through.
Yes, okay. So actually, do you know or did you ever hear that there is an index inside our brain? Did you hear ever about
I
it?
think I heard something like that.
Okay. So actually, there is two parts inside our brain that act as a memory index. So these two parts here, they are these two. We call them hippocampus. But why am I teaching you about that? Do you need really to know about it? I only want to pass you a little
It helps me
information.
remember.
And not only this, but there is a trick actually here. The trick is that, so this is your working memory. Your working memory have a limited capacity. And since it have a limited capacity, it need to pass the information to a long-term memory. And that is done by the hippocampus. So the hippocampus organize and orchestrate the flow of information from your working memory that is gathering the information that I'm telling you now. So currently, the three parts of the brain is working now. The working memory that you're trying to understand the concept and the information I'm passing to you, and that working memory passes the information to this hippocampus, which orchestrates the flow of the information to the long-term memory that cover a very thin layer in your brain like that. So, okay, the problem here that this hippocampus in adults, it gets saturated in a time between 10 to 15 minutes. So every 10 to 15 minutes, it gets saturated. So what does it mean saturated? So it's like a cup of water that you keep pouring on water here. And then after a certain while, which is in our case 10 to 15 minutes, the water will start to flow out. Flow out means that the information will not be saved and we cannot make use of the information. And that is not good for us. So, so teachers who already studied that and know this information, every 10 to 15 minutes, they will check the syllabus, try to clean the board, or do something without talking at all. So your hippocampus need 1 or 2 minutes of silence every 10 to 15 minutes. The teacher can do that for you, and you can do it on your own if you are studying. So if you are listening to an educational video or you are studying on your own, every 10 to 15 minutes, please stop for 1 or 2 minutes of silence, complete silence. Okay. So when there is a complete silence, the hippocampus actually um, are able to pass all the information that it have in hand to the long-term memory. Okay, so the long-term memory does not remember the information so easy. It needs a lot of repetition from the hippocampus to fix the information in the long-term memory. So that is done by this 1 or 2 minutes of silence. Did you understand me here? Or what did you understand so far from this memory index thing?
So the memory index is when when you learn something new, it goes into your working memory, and then as you the hippocampus, is it for like current memory, or is it like a temporary memory store, like short term?
It is consider it the memory index. So consider it like a book index. So it carry only where the information is stored. It does not store information inside it. It only store where the information can be found in the permanent long-term memory.
Oh, so it's like a quick access.
Yes, exactly.
So when the information is learned, it's at the working.
Memory.
Wait, can I draw?
Yeah. Please, yes, it's good. Yeah,
Is there?
I need
Oh,
to
okay,
allow
I
you.
can. Yeah, okay. Can you see?
Yeah, perfect. Yes.
Okay. So when you learn something new, it goes into the working memory, which is at the front here,
Mm-hmm.
and then uh your hippocampus, they are used to, like in the short term, they're used to access your working memory, but your information that you learned in the working memory will fade or be like pushed out by new information that you constantly get every day.
Mm-hmm.
So when you when you use the memory recall, I think,
Mm-hmm.
is that what it's called?
Yes, memory call. But I just let me highlight a little bit one thing to you. Don't be ever shy to make mistakes. Speak freely. I'm not here to judge you. Just whatever you understand, just say it, and it's actually good what you're saying. Okay, please proceed.
Okay. So then when you use memory recall, it goes into the long-term memory, which is a thin film around your brain, and then it goes there. So now it's stored there, and your hippocampus is like the quick access to to immediately target which information you want from your long-term memory. But this long-term memory, it needs a longer time, uh, and a bunch of repetition to to like keep the information cemented there.
Okay,
Otherwise, it will fade over time.
okay, and that's good. And what did you learn about this? What did you remember about this here?
So, your the amount of information you can take in and process for for a period of time, it usually gets filled up within 10 to 15 minutes, and after that you will begin to forget very, very fast anything else that is input. So
Okay,
having the 1 or 2 minutes of silence after every 10 to 15 minutes lets your brain just focus on processing the information you have now, uh instead of like looking at any new information that comes up. So then it's like clearing your RAM and then letting new information come in later.
okay, that is actually good. But let me clarify a few points, please. Here, that the
Okay.
one that get filled in every 10 to 15 minutes is a hippocampus.
Oh, so it gets like confused on where
filled
to
in with
access your memory
saturated.
now.
Yes, saturated. So it takes the information from your working memory. It start to organize it and make prepare links for where it's going to be stored inside. So this is one piece number one, piece number two, and piece number three. So there is three pieces here. Our most important piece is actually the long-term memory, which is a thin film. Oops, no, not this. Okay, yeah. So this is like the color the same you mentioned here. So this is the three pieces: working memory, the mediator, the one in the middle, and the third one. So this third one, the long-term memory, it takes a long time to actually store information inside it. It's not so fast. It's not fast as a working memory. Okay, so that's why this hippocampus, it take it some time to actually fix the information inside the long-term memory. So that's why it gets saturated every 10 to 15 minutes. It cannot take more information because this is a slow process. The process of transferring the information from the hippocampus to the long-term memory, it is a slow process. It's not as fast as your working memory. And let me also tell you that your working memory can only handle between 4 to 7 pieces of information at a time. So why I'm saying a range? Because that is a capability that differs a student from another. Certain students will able to handle more information at the same time. Certain students cannot. Okay, so but by studying and by focusing on good learning techniques, there will be a little difference between the student who have 4 pieces of information that he can handle at the working memory and 7 pieces. There will be a little differences. Of course, the student who are able to catch more information at the same time, he's able to solve problems faster. He's able to learn and understand concepts faster. He's able to recall chunks from the memory faster at the exam. Yes, but at the end, if the student who only can carry 4 information, or a slow learner, if he study more, he's able to approach or come nearby the student who is smarter. Okay, this is just a simple way. So there will be a little difference at the end, because even the teacher who taught that neuroscience subject was a slow learner. So that's why when she teach that, she want to make sure that nobody is worried that he actually is a slow learner. Okay.
Yeah.
Did I manage to convey the information clearly so far? Tien?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So Tien,
yeah. I think I'm lacking a bit, but I can hear all the things that you said.
Okay, so now this is how the information in the brain is actually consolidated and linked together. This linking only happens at night when you are sleeping, and this does not happen only in a single night. It takes time, so it can take between weeks and months sometimes. So having good sleep is actually good for your brain. And like I told you, information, different information inside your brain is actually linked together. And the research said that people who study about different topics and subjects are actually able to create, be more creative and do a lot of good brainstorming and finding good solutions. So it means if you are a computer scientist and you already graduated for computer science and you only read about computer science, nothing more, so that will not be a good thing for you. The good thing is that you read about different topics and subjects, not only computer science. That help your brain to actually make better links together and help you become more creative and find solutions for problems, even in computer science. So even if you read about geography, about history, about any other topics that is not useless, like TikTok movies or videos. That is totally useless unless it's educational. So watching information or studying or reading information that is also not related actively help your brain. Okay, this is in short. So the takeaway from this slide, even if you like a certain topic, start to also read about other topics that will help your brain. This is in short. I don't want to take too much information, too much time here, but also in short, sleeping 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours is actually important because it helps your brain consolidate the information. Did I make it clear so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, like really short form, learning about like getting new information about different separate topics will let your brain like make those memory chunks easier, because over time your brain can also make links between these memory chunks.
Yes, yes. This is in short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will move to the last thing here. Let me see. Yeah. So okay. Your brain function in two different modes. At the moment you are focusing with me, so your brain function in the focused thinking mode. Okay, which is good. So you try to focus on what I'm saying. You try to grab whatever I'm saying. But this kind of focus mode is not the one that is for finding solution for big complex problems. So if you want to find creative ideas, smart people tend to actually, how to say, trigger the diffuse mode of thinking, which um, is a way of thinking that can be triggered when you are relaxed, when you are doing nothing. So if you face a problem in the math or even in the computer science exercises like computational thinking, like pseudocode, like Python, you find a complex problem that you cannot find a solution for. Don't don't just insist on trying not to stop your study until you find a solution. No, this doesn't work. The best way is to leave what you are doing and either go study something else or go just close your eyes, relax for 10 minutes, and then try to tackle the same problem again. So that is the best way of triggering your diffuse thinking mode. Your diffuse thinking mode is actually very important. If you face a problem in any subject, don't insist on finding a solution immediately. Just go find or do something else. Even you can close the topic or the subject and leave it for tomorrow. This is also another way. So you can tackle it after 1 or 2 hours. If it doesn't work, never mind, tackle it tomorrow. That trigger your diffuse thinking mode, and that will affect your how you handle your tackle your problem. I personally, because I was working as a software engineer before I start to tutor and teach people, so I faced the same problem. I was a bit stubborn that I take it as an ego that I cannot leave a problem unsolved for a second day. So that actually is wrong. So now when I do the same, I face a programming problem, I immediately stop. I don't proceed. So you should do the same. Am I clear? Sien? Sien, can you hear me? Hello? Sien? Can you hear me, Sien?
I think you cut off just now.
Oh, really? So what did you hear from me?
The last thing I heard was if I face a programming problem, then I should just stop. That's the last thing.
Yes, but not only a programming problem. Any problem that you are not able to solve, don't say that I want to solve it immediately. I will not stop studying until I solve it. No, that is not good. That is a waste of time. Stop, do something else, and try to return back later. If later also you cannot do it, no problem. Try tomorrow, and so on. That sometimes it takes a few times to be able to find a solution. But believe me, the amount of time you're going to save is a lot. Okay, and that is a proven technique, not only on the theoretical side. I also personally tried that, and it works. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. So I think we need to move slightly here. So just no, let me understand from you. Did you know about SSD before?
I've never seen it like this.
Yes,
But
maybe
I
the
know what
picture
an
is slightly
SSD.
different. Yeah. So what is SSD?
Solid state drive. It's
Okay.
a form of storage.
Okay. And why is it different from the other form of storage, which is HDD?
HDD uses a like a read and write system. SSD uses logic gates to store information.
Excellent. Okay. So which one is more faster?
SSD is faster because it's electricity. And it's also less prone to like accidental damage.
Okay, excellent. So you have seen a picture like that before?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that this is a reading head, right? Read and write heads.
Yeah.
And this is a platter. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know the difference between the three pictures?
Um, the first one is like is that like a very old big version of
Yes, of the RAM. Yes. Yeah, it's true.
like RAM, but logic gates, but mechanical logic gates.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Only the second and third ones are different because like there's I forgot the letters, but it's like RAM something
So this is used for laptops and this
four
is for
like and then
desktops.
RAM something 5.
No, this is used for
Oh,
laptops and this is for desktops. So everything in the desktop is actually compact in size. Even the hard disk also is compact in size. Okay. So now let me
laptop
know.
is the right side.
Yes, laptop on the right side. Yes, it's true. Yeah. So
Okay.
okay. Now let me ask you here. Did you understand that inside the RAM, um, so for every memory address that we have in the RAM, we have an address for it. Do you know that, right? And it is,
Um, no, actually.
you didn't hear that
I mean,
before?
I knew, but I didn't like. I knew uh there was like a how do you say a tag or something for, but I didn't know like they were written like this, like in binary like this.
So it is actually, so it is considered this way. For every house that we have in Malaysia, we have a house number, right? So for every place in the memory where we can store information, we need a number to actually easily reference it. So if we want, later I can also explain that, but maybe in a different session, we will talk that, okay, I want to get all the information or the data in position or address 0. So I issue an instruction for the CPU to fetch out for me the data that is stored in position 0. And maybe later I would like to also grab all the information at address 3. So the CPU will issue an instruction to get the information from that is stored in address 3. So that actually is part of the programming, but you don't see it or understand it at the moment, because programming language like Python does not really involve you in this. But if you study about low-level language, you will actually understand how this works. And some part of the fetch decode cycle actually explains that. Did you study it, the fetch decode cycle?
Heard of it, but no.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, I will take note of that. Not to say anything bad. There is nothing bad here. Just for me to know what to focus on. So please have a look at this code and tell me, this is a 2D array. Okay, and
Yeah.
I have this piece of code. I know this is an advanced topic. Did you take 2D arrays so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know 1D, 2D, and 3D.
3D even.
But I'm
Wow.
not yeah, but I'm not like that good at it.
Okay. So are you able to understand these lines of code? This and this.
So the first one is like defining your cells in your array.
Okay.
And then the second one is row is, you define row as 0.
Okay.
For row.
So row is a variable, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
What does len do?
Len actually gets the length of something. So if you want to, you know how many items here, so this gets you the size. So so len, if you say len array 2D like that, it will get you the length of the row.
Fixed.
Yes, so that is fixed. Yes. So 1, 2, 3. So we have less than a minute. So just let me tell you, if an exercise needs you to actually loop through the columns only, especially